The sports world is abuzz. When are people going to learn? You can't dip your pen in the company ink. Next.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
We know what time it is. It's lunchtime. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunch with the Clydesdale, where we take a break from the busy workday, catch our breath, hang out with friends, and talk about the world of sports and entertainment, and specifically CrossFit. So, I am sure you've all heard the big buzz around the sports world, and that is that Sherrone Moore has been let go from the University of Michigan as head coach due to an inappropriate relationship with a staffer on the University of Michigan football team. My understanding is that person was someone that was hired under the Jim Harbaugh administration and then promoted once Sherrone Moore got the job to his assistant. There's a lot of rumors going around as to what happened, what transpired, why it became public knowledge. And then the story gets weird. Immediately after that, there was a call to the local authorities that there was an alleged assault happening. And then the police came out. They eventually find him at a location in conjunction with two different authorities. They arrest him and they put him in jail, where he is still today. There's rumors whether he was there for his own safety. There's rumors whether he was there for other safety. And no charges are supposed to be filed today. We'll probably won't even know anymore till tomorrow. But what in the world? What in the world? Like, we went through all of this stuff over the past 10 years where people should have learned that you can't be dingling around in the workplace and expect to get away with it. You just can't do that anymore. We are in a world where there's so much information and so many recording devices and so many people listening in on things. You cannot get away with this stuff anymore. It is mind-boggling that there are still people out there that think they are powerful enough or that they are above the system enough that they can get away with things like this. I am just flabbergasted over this. David Reed, cheating in Michigan seemed to go together. It was so funny. I'm watching Get Up this morning, and you have like Adam Schefter and Taylor Lewan, both who graduated from Michigan, talking about they need to make sure they hire the person that upholds the standards of Michigan. What is that standard now? Because in the last few years, you've had the sign stealing scandal. Both of your coaches have served suspensions while working for the team. What now? This coach is fired because he's diddling around with his assistant. What standard are we talking about anymore? Savon said, was he married? He is married. He has 4 children, just had a newborn baby this summer. Amirda says it's an ego thing. They think nothing will happen to them. Well, I think there is evidence over the past several years that things are going to happen to you. There's too many people with access to grind, with recording devices, with it. You just can't. You just can't anymore. Mark Phillips makes a great point. The interim coach that was named at Michigan, his name is Biff Poggi. Maybe the greatest name ever in college sports. Biff Poggi. And if you don't know his story, what's completely wild is this dude, through investing, is like a huge millionaire. And he just loves football so much that he coaches it for fun. He has made so much money in the stock market that he just does this because he likes to. But yeah, I love the name Biff Poggi. Chattanooga, currently in a social psychology course, and this is just an incredible case you could dive into. Yeah, yeah. When you're that much in the spotlight, it's bound to come out. Dumb move. Well, and especially in college football, because you are competing with other schools to get top end talent, and other schools will rat you out for everything you have ever done to get that kid to sign with you instead of them. It is ruthless. It is cutthroat. It is savage. And in this line of work, you cannot go that far outside the bounds and not expect it to come back and bite you at some point. Paul Kane, it's a testosterone thing. I didn't want to just put it into just males because there are a lot of males that have done it, but females do the same thing. Females cheat at work. Females get into superpower positions, and they use that for their benefit. The timeline of when the university found out versus when the wife did, along with signing day, is interesting too. Yeah, from the accounts on the internet, it sounds to me like the wife didn't find out until he was fired. And that may be what triggered the police arrest. I don't know that for a fact, so I don't want to say that for sure, but it from everything I'm reading on the internet, it does seem like the wife did not find out until the arrest or until the firing. And then there was an argument that then led to his arrest. Mark Phillips, his real name is Francis Xavier Poggi. Still super cool. Yeah. If my name was Francis Xavier, I would go by Biff as well. Jonathan Ortega, people just got yelled at in my office and it's awkward in here now. Yeah, don't you hate that? NLEM Nilamu. I don't know. I don't know. As someone who has worked their whole life in HR, I've never seen a relationship, cheating or not, be successful that started at work, especially with a power imbalance in roles like this. Yeah. The problem is people are not thinking with their minds in those moments generally. Yeah, I saw this as well, Train Olive. Apparently, Bryce Underwood removed the Michigan tag from his IG. Transfer portal is about to be busy. Yeah, they've got to get someone. The transfer portal opens the beginning of January, so they're going to have to get someone in there, someone to meet with the players, and it better be someone big that convinces those players to stay, or they're going to lose a hell of a lot of players. Chattanooga, there was a tweet 9 days ago from some guy saying exactly what happened. Rumor is the school knew and withheld it until after signing day. Yeah, I'm hearing conflicting things, that the school had done some investigations, but they didn't have anything concrete enough to fire him with cause until yesterday. And I don't know the truth. In this world of college athletics, it would not surprise me that people would wait until after signing day. But the fact of the matter is, in college sports, the minute you let go of your coach, you are let loose from your letters of intent immediately. So all those people they signed to their class can now go to any other university in the country because their coach is gone. And because the coach is gone, that means everybody on the team is eligible for the transfer portal and everybody is let out of their letters of intent. So it really opens up everything. Waiting till after signing day does nothing. Does Penn State still need a coach? No. They signed Matt Campbell last week. And it actually turned out to be a good hire, considering they took forever to do it. But yeah. So just wanted to hit with that. I did look at the rule book a little more in depth last night, and I don't see Lito in the chat, but she had that question about what happens if you're a master's athlete, you do the online semifinal, and then you do the French throwdown and you qualify for the games there. Which one counts? And if you read the rule book, it says, just like last year, their rank will be passed over. Let me see. From the first competition for which they qualified, their rank will be passed over in a subsequent competition, in-person semis or online semis. So it will be the last place where they qualify. And just like last year in the elites, because the online didn't certify for 3 weeks, if you then qualified in between there, that's the one that counted. And in the online, you got bumped out and someone else got that spot. The athlete needs to request being released from their national letter of intent, and national letter of intent is bound to the school, not the coach. The request change came in 2023. I'm just quoting what I heard on Get Up this morning, that because of the coach being fired, there is a clause where the national letter of intent becomes null and void. But I could be wrong. Savon says, and that's why women shouldn't be allowed in the military. I'm not sure I would go there for that. I don't have a problem with women in the military. Just don't have sex on the job. I think that's an easy solution. So, and anyway, to answer Lito's question, if you qualify at the French throwdown and then the certification of the online happens 2 weeks later, your French throwdown counts as your qualification, not the online, even though you did it first. That's the way I understand it. David, more like don't cheat on your wife. Yeah, all that stuff. Well, and I mean, honestly, when you're on a job, aren't you there to do something, not have sex, not have a relationship? I mean, I work for the state of Ohio. We've had people fired before for having sex in the stairwell it happens. It's dumb. Being in the military isn't your job, it's your life. Okay, I kind of see where you're coming from. All the family members I have in the military still look at it as their job. So I don't know. Interesting point. How do you even cheat when you're the coach of a big school? Married, have 4 kids. I don't know how you cheat, especially a newborn. It's selfishness, it's ego, it's a lot of things. Mark Phillips, in the Army, it was life. Maybe Air Force is a job. Most of my family members are in the Navy, and that's the experience that I know. A couple other things I found in the rule book overnight. team eligibility has changed a little bit this year. You have to be a registered member of the affiliate again. This time it has to be by the close of the first weekend of the Open. And you have to do all of the workouts at the affiliate unless you are competing at Wodapalooza, and you can do 26.3 at Wodapalooza. But all other workouts have to be done at the affiliate where you are registered as a member. They have expanded public review this year. Public review will not just be for elites. They're expanding it to the age groups and adaptives. Adaptives don't do semifinals online, but the age groups will now have their videos up, posted, and be available for public review as a way to narrow down the to narrow down what they look at further. And then the one thing I just wish they would change is the affiliate in good standing. And maybe it's just coordinate better with the affiliates themselves. Affiliates, I've heard too many cases where affiliates turn people away from doing open workouts or quarterfinal workouts last year or semifinal workouts last year, who tried to come to an affiliate in good standing to do their workouts. If you're going to make a requirement, then it has to be accessible for people to be able to get in there. That's all. I hate that. The other quick thing I wanted to talk about is, and then we can dive into whatever you guys talk about in the chat. Mark Phillips is asking, oh, shoot, my mouse died. Anyone heard if you can comment on why you mark needs review on a video review yet? Boz said yesterday on the Sport of Fitness podcast that your information as a judge is now visible to them when they're reviewing. So if they see like a mass amount of negatives about somebody and there is no reasoning, that they can flush that out this year where they couldn't last year. So apparently it will track who you are, why you've done it, if what Boz said yesterday is completely accurate, which I don't have any reason not to believe him in that. I think they saw that as a limitation last year where people were just marking it and they didn't have to put their name on it. Now all of that information goes with your remark as to why it was marked needs review. And you can check that out on the Sport of Fitness podcast with Boz yesterday. He did talk about that during that conversation. So last night on the Spin, Brian Spin announced that he has had a 58-minute conversation with Wayne Diebner, the guy allegedly in the process of purchasing CrossFit, that they had a very long conversation, and that the way Spin put it on the show last night is that the way it came across is that Wayne Diebner does believe he is the sole person left. Him and his partner, can't remember his name now, are the last people left in the purchase of CrossFit, and that he believes it will be done by Christmas. So I'm really just tired of the rumors, honestly. But it does seem like if he's willing to have that conversation with Brian and talk about it that long, and Brian did say he shared his vision with him. Yeah, thank you, Vicky. It's Mastrov. Mastrov and Diebner are the purchasers of, are supposedly the purchasers of CrossFit. It sounds to me like Spin truly believes that this sale will be done by Christmas. It may not be like completely signed over, but the letter of intent or whatever it might be will be done by Christmas. And it'll leak into the new year, just finishing up all the details. But it's just crazy to me that we've gone this far, and here we are, that the purchase looks like it's going to be done by guys who do the Globo Gym thing that CrossFit has fought against for years and years and years. I don't even know how to react to that. Without knowing their vision, it's really hard to even buy into any of this. But I'm not optimistic. Maybe I've just become too cynical, but I'm not optimistic off the get-go on this one. Wade is batshit crazy and has nothing on the table. Okay. That's what's crazy. That's like, there are these people that truly freaking believe that they are in the business of, or in the process of buying this thing. And then you hear other stories from people inside that there's nothing on the table. There's no proposal. There's nothing. Like, how can it be so extreme from one end to the other than one of them is batshit crazy? So I guess that is the reason. I don't know. It's a wild world we live in, man. It's a wild world. Savon also comments on the fact that the videos will be up for public review. This means lots of new content for Andrew Hiller and many masters getting prolapsed. I hope what it means, not that I do not disagree with you at all, Savon. What I hope it means is that people will be more careful about the videos they post, knowing that people like Hiller are going to be out there reviewing it. So they're going to make sure they hit depth. They're going to make sure that their wall balls hit the target. They're going to make sure that they follow all the rules that are out there. But I am sure there are a ton that will not do that as well. I love the public review. I love it even more now that you have to put your name on the public review. I think I think it cleans things up naturally because people don't want to be picked on. So they're going to work like hell to make sure that their videos are in good shape and that they have hit the standards before they submit the video. But the fact that you have to submit every video of every workout and put it out for the public to watch, I think makes it cleans up a lot of the mess that we get year over year. Just by having to do that itself, whether there is a review by CrossFit or not, the public outcry will clean things up a lot more than we've had in the past. So I'm stoked that they have improved that process and are going to continue that process. I think it is the way to clean up a lot of the online issues that we've had in the past. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about it's something else outside of the CrossFit space, but I don't know if you guys have saw, there was a big announcement that Netflix has bought Warner Brothers and HBO. They made this big announcement that it was a big thing to increase their library with the quality content that HBO has been putting out. And their historic library, like The Sopranos, like Deadwood, like The Wire, all of those shows then become the property of Netflix to be able to distribute globally with this purchase. It was a long fought bid between Netflix and Paramount Plus over buying Warner Brothers and the HBO production. And in the end, Netflix wins the bid. The interesting piece is that Paramount said, screw you. We are now going to do a hostile takeover. You wouldn't let us buy it. So now we're going to attempt to buy enough stock to do a hostile takeover and take over Warner Brothers that way and put a kibosh on the deal between Netflix and Warner Brothers. I find that stuff fascinating in business. It is so competitive and so cutthroat that here you are in a bidding process and you are going back and forth, and Warner Brothers decides, hey, we're going to sell to Netflix, and Paramount says, well, screw you. We're going to buy up all your stock and we're going to take you over. It is going to be interesting to see if they can pull it off. Just because you say you're going to do it doesn't mean you can and doesn't mean you will. So it's going to be interesting to see if Paramount can put the funds together to buy up enough stock to then take over Warner Brothers before the sale to Netflix is final. And I know from talking to you all in the chat, we all stream shows, we all stream movies. I don't like the fact that we're getting back to like some form of monopoly in all of this stuff. And then the price is going to go up, I'm sure, on everything, because it just can. I mean, Netflix goes up every quarter, it seems like. I get an email. Hey, we want to bring you the best. We're going to up your monthly subscription by another $2. And I don't even watch Netflix that much. It frustrates me because my mom, who is 80, we pay for her Netflix. She watches it all the time. If she wasn't on my bill, I think I would just say screw it and drop them with as much as they up the price. But they have me because I don't want to take away my mom's entertainment. But anyway, I just found that interesting. I don't know if you guys do. I think it's going to be fun to watch to see if Paramount can pull off the hostile takeover. But yeah. Just got a breaking news from ESPN. Sherrone Moore is expected to appear in court for arraignment on Friday. So that means we will hear the charges against him tomorrow, when he is arraigned tomorrow. But we probably won't hear any more definitive as to what actually happened. Just probably more speculation and rumors as to why he was arrested until then. But if you have Twitter, if you have, I mean, I found out a lot just on Twitter last night about what was going on with him. Now, whether it's confirmed, whether it's true, who the hell knows with AI and all that stuff out there. You just never know what's real anymore. But there is a lot of corroborating stories on Twitter as to what happened after the firing. And it's pretty ugly at times. So the only thing the police have officially said is they were called on an alleged assault. And there we are. The guy's in jail and he will be arraigned tomorrow. So anything else going on with you guys? Other than this, it's been a really freaking slow week. Trying to come up with things to talk about this week. I was looking at Legends today. They start tomorrow. And one thing I did find interesting, if I can find that story again, if you've ever been to Legends, it's a really cool venue in Arizona at Arizona State University. And they've changed the floor setup this year. I'm almost there. There we go. So if you look at the floor setup, in the past, so here it is. So this is taken from a balcony. And what was cool in the past is the rig was right below the balcony. You could get really great shots of people climbing the ropes from above, right off of that balcony. And so this is a basketball floor. And in the past, they had the rig horizontally this way across the bottom. Now this year they have flipped the rig and now it goes up the side. I don't know if it's that to make it wider or what. And then here in the back, you can kind of see a second floor. So they have this floor. They have a floor in the back that could run simultaneously. And there is generally hockey glass separating this floor from this floor. So it actually mutes down the sound a little bit. And then if you go out to the right, that's where the Olympic swimming pool is. And it is 50 meters wide, but they use it as a 25-yard pool. And so they go across it the width wise instead of the length wise. It's a great facility. Just curious why they flipped the rig this year. But our boy Cowboy Corey is out there. He's flying out this morning. I know Denise Moore's going. I know a couple of our other listeners are competing out there. And so we wish them all the best of luck. It's a great competition. I know that Joe and Bob get dogged a ton about hosting the games, but when they're hosting this event, this is their baby. And they can make it whatever they want to make it with programming. And people know what it's going to be when they're heading there. So I think it's a great event for that. My only beef with them is when they run the games and they don't consider trying to find the fittest on earth when they're programming, and they don't consider others. They don't ask for help, I guess is the best way to put it. So Jonathan Ortega, they left you on red? Yeah, I don't know if I will ever get back to having any access again with them. We'll see what happens in the future. Really disappointed about what happened with the games this year and the very limited access we had. But they did that with all third-party media. They only let their own media people on the floor. They only let their own media in the warm-up areas. And everybody else were just like a fan. You got to sit in the stands. Yeah, they said we will contact you last year. Yeah. They don't understand the value of third-party media and how it's free and how they put out and promote your event. They think it's old school and they can control all of that. Yep. Hercules only. And they pay Hercules a shit ton of money to come out and do packages and stuff for their athletes. It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me why you would pay for a media company to come in and do photo packages when you could just let third-party media come in, do a bang-up job, and not have to pay a cent. It's like the old school way of getting your yearbook picture taken by a professional, and they're the only ones allowed to take your yearbook picture. What are we, children? Oh, well. But anyway, I saw your text, Jonathan. Joe actually told me something different. So, but maybe it was just to brush me off. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, I have a 1:00 meeting today, so I only have a couple minutes left. We'll keep following the Sherrone Moore thing. I will keep reading into the rule book. but really I don't see much changing. It looks very similar to last year with a little bit of sprinkling in of 2024, where I think they made changes and they went back to what worked better in 24. But hey, we have everything. It's December 11th. We have the rule book. We have the timeline for next year. We have the schedule. Hell, we have just about everything we need for the season. That has never ever happened before in my time covering CrossFit. I don't know. Maybe back in the regionals days they were better at that, but it's crazy. We have everything we need to follow the season on December 11th. So shout out CrossFit. Nice job getting us everything early. Now just hope they don't sell to these, as Sevon put it, batshit crazy people, and we can continue on with the plan and not have to do something different because they took over and wanted to change things. But we'll see what happens with that. I'll keep following along and we'll talk about it then. So I will jump off now. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Jay Birch says maybe they finally have a team together to get it done. I think there was just a good focus this year. I don't know. We'll see. With that, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go back to work. You knuckleheads get back to work as well. And we'll see everybody tomorrow on Lunch with the Clydesdale. Bye, guys.